What's going on, guys? Bengal again here, coming back at you with another video. And today we're doing something involving the Bengals, even though I'm not a fan of the team. But it's involving quarterback Joe Burrow. Now, very unfortunately, he went down with an injury in real life. But this is the Joe Burrow career simulation we're going to be picking up in 2021. Of course, if you guys have not seen any of the career simulations before, we are not controlling anything to do with the team. Just watching the career unfold, the quarterback win awards. Doesn't always have to be a quarterback, but watching the player win awards, put up stats, do all these different things. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun to see how Joe Burrow's career goes. Let me know down in the comment section below what player you want to see next. What career do you want to watch go to completion? If you guys are new here, please hit the subscribe button. We're coming up quickly on 250,000. The support has been amazing. It's free to subscribe. You can always unsubscribe later, although I hope that you don't. But this should be a fun one. Joe Burrow had such a great start to his career, and the Bengals really didn't do much in the way of actually protecting him and giving him time to throw. If we look at the offensive line, yeah, sure, Jonah Williams, who was injured all of last season, is back. But outside of him, what do you really have here? Bobby Hart, Trey Hopkins, Quentin Spain, this is Michael Jordan. Pretty sure, yeah. This is not a great group on the offensive line. I think Billy Price is probably one of the better offensive linemen on the team, period. He's a 66 overall in the game, which is less than ideal. But when you look at this team, you see aging A.J. Green. You see Tyler Boyd, who's one of the better slot receivers in the league. T. Higgins is an up-and-coming, really great player with Joe Burrow. Auden Tate really is just a red zone threat, in my opinion. I think he's very good in that role, but doesn't offer a ton else. So really, how many legit receivers of the future do they have? One or two. And I get that T. Higgins has looked pretty good. He's only played a few games. Well, more than a few. You get it, but like half a season. It's tough to know what he's going to do altogether with his career so far. We're not going to crown him king already. But, you know, a lot of these guys going downhill. A.J. Green going downhill. Auden Tate really only does one thing. Tyler Boyd, slot receiver. Can he really be effective on the outside? There are questions. We'll see if the Bengals can answer them and actually put Joe Burrow in a situation where he can be an amazing quarterback. So again, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Check out the second channel if you're into GeoGuessr, which is like geography, like game, like GeoGuessr, like Google Maps, I'm trying to say. Guesser, that's a lot of fun. Opening sports cards on there all the time, usually football. Check out Antonio Gibson. I don't know why I'm showing this one. It's so small for you guys probably. But, yeah, I mean, we got some cool cards in there. Check it out on the second channel. But, yeah, back to what you're here for. The Joe Burrow career simulation. Starting off with his second season. Obviously, his real-life numbers are unchanged because we jumped in at the current week using the real-life rosters, and he was injured. But guess what? He's available to play again. He is back. And what did the Bengals do to put weapons on this team? Of course, he has superstar development. That's fantastic, and he does have superstar potential. Joe Burrow looked very, very good for the Bengals in limited play. He's got the confidence, and most importantly, he's got the ability. Joe Burrow's a really good player. A.J. Green's gone, and this is the new group. They brought in Alex Mack, a.k.a. Javon Mack, John Feliciano, Gerald Everett. The Bengals actually did make moves to make this offense better. Of course, with Joe Mixon back as well, the offense is much improved. And then on defense, looks like they drafted an outside linebacker, Barry Kilroy. Logan Wilson's a decent player, Akeem Davis-Gaither. But this isn't a rebuild. We're not really focusing on the defense so much in what the team's doing to bring in better players. We're focusing on just Joe Burrow and his career. So let's take a look at him. He's a 78 overall right now as we start season number 2. 86 throw power is not exactly ideal, but he's got decent accuracy overall. Especially short accuracy is great. Break sack, his speed's pretty good. I mean, Burrow's a mobile guy. I would say that his best attribute, in my opinion, is pocket mobility. He navigates around the pocket so well, evading pressure, stepping up and throwing. Burrow is extremely agile in the pocket, and I would say his ability to make guys miss coming at him and extending plays while going through progressions is something that is really tough to teach. So Burrow is he's a good player, right? I don't think that's saying too much. He's his first overall pick for a reason, and he played well. But he's got some really good traits, and that's what you look for as you look to build on what you already have coming out of college. And Burrow certainly has a lot to build on. But we are going to simulate to the playoffs and see how Burrow did in his second year. Did not make the playoffs here in 2021. Went 6-10. But the Bengals are a team that really, really, really performs well in simulation over time. So we'll see how, if that ends up being true, or if that's only the classic Madden situation of they're really good as long as you're not controlling them. But I have everything on auto, so we'll see what ends up happening. Joe Burrow, almost 4,000 yards here in year 2, 32 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. So we really have to cut down on the turnovers. But other than that, this really isn't too bad of a season. As a rusher, averaged almost 4 yards per carry, but you'd expect that to be a lot higher for a quarterback, when taking off. Joe Burrow, 40 attempts for 151. Did not punch one into the end zone. But overall, pretty good year from him. Who is his favorite target? Tyler Boyd, 14 touchdowns. Boyd had over 1,000 yards on 84 catches. Auden Tate at number 2. But Gerald Everett really dominated in the red zone. 6 touchdowns. T. Higgins, 7 touchdowns. He had a really, really good year. Probably outside of Tyler Boyd, I would say T. Higgins had the best year of any other receiver. 71 catches is one short of Gerald Everett. Yeah, he had, fewer yards, but also had more touchdowns. So, it's an interesting case. Tell me what season you'd rather have. Gerald Everett in there or T. Higgins? Lamar Jackson wins MVP. No votes for Burrow. And I assume we're not going to get anything for Offensive Player of the Year either as Colin Kaepernick with the Colts. Interesting. Best quarterback, Lamar Jackson. Joe Burrow in there at number 7. As I suppose, since we missed the playoffs, we'll just jump in to season number 2 here in a moment. Let's just quickly catch up with Joe Burrow, who is up to an 82 overall. Throw power has gone up, as has total accuracy. So Burrow is on the rise. And while I don't think he's going to go up to Superstar X Factor this season, I think next season it's definitely possible. All right, 2022. Team looks like it got a little bit worse in terms of overall. But they drafted, what is this, a tight end? Or is he a fullback? He is a tight end. Star better development. Maybe he might end up being okay. Tyler Boyd went up to Superstar Dev. T. Higgins has barely even moved at all. That's normal development for you. Normal dev is just so bad. He's now into his 3rd year. He's had very, very solid seasons and has moved up 2 overall points. Normal development is just beyond terrible. Trey Hopkins is now playing center. They have not upgraded Bobby Hart. Alex Mack, I assume, retired. And then defensively, Keem Davis-Gaither went up. They brought in Mike Hilton to be, I guess, their CB1 on the outside. He's a nickel corner. They bring in anybody else. Kilroy's getting a little bit better, even though Jermaine Pratt would be better at that position overall. Von Bell went down down from star development. But that's okay. Not really a whole lot of changes made. I will use my Coach XP, though. And I will upgrade just quarterback training boost for now, and then increased player weekly goal XP will be the next thing I touch as we simulate to the playoffs here in 2022. Once again, not a playoff team, finishing at 5-11, even worse than the year prior. Let's go ahead and check on Joe Burrow and the rest of the team, as he is up to an 86 overall, not even with morale. He's just going up pretty quickly. 88 throw power now. The accuracy is on the rise. 89 deep, 93 medium, 94 short accuracy. He actually is on pace to get well above 90 throw power. I wonder how much that's going to continue to get upgraded. He goes for over 4,000 passing yards this year, 32 touchdowns, and only 8 interceptions. So almost half as many interceptions as the previous year, the same number of touchdowns, and more yards. Fewer attempts, but also slightly worse completion percentage, but was more effective as he averaged more per attempt, more per completion. Had a way better year in my opinion. Rushing, he didn't really do anything crazy. Did have a rushing touchdown. Broke 5 tackles in there as well. And I will go to the rest of the team stats just so we can see his favorite target. Like to see that. Although if I had to guess, I would tell you it's probably going to be Tyler Boyd because he played in the slot. That would be my guess. And sure it is, Tyler Boyd at 13 touchdowns. T. Higgins though with 9. Like, T. Higgins is having crazy good years and just isn't really getting upgraded at all. Is up to an 80. So he's having a little bit of okay progression. Auden Tate had exactly 831 yards as well. Way fewer touchdowns. Everett was very good as well. Check out awards. I might see Burrow in this. Maybe not for MVP, but for Offensive Player of the Year, I could see him getting some votes. None for MVP, but for Offensive Player of the Year, does finish inside the top 10 at 7. And then for Best Quarterback, he finishes at number 6. So an improvement on 7 last year. Kind of interesting how he was 7th for Offensive Player of the Year and now finishes in 6th for Best Quarterback. But last year was not even in the Offensive Player of the Year voting or MVP clearly, yet finished at number 7, just one behind number 6 for Best Quarterback. But that's 2022 for you, as we'll see what 2023 has in store. 2023, the team overall is rising quite significantly, as Burrow is at an 86, has not gotten better, but look at the addition of the offensive line. But that's not to say it got a whole lot better, because look at center. Center's terrible. And then right tackle, this is not an upgrade over Bobby Hart. Akeem Adeniji, so bad. But David DeCastro's here, and that is a big improvement. Darby's up to nearly a 70 overall. 69, nice. Defensively, Logan Wilson up to superstar. They brought in Rashawn Gary. Kilroy went up to star. Von Bell back to star. And also drafted a wild corner, LaMelo Washington, out of Northern Illinois. 80 overall rookie. Okay. He's a monster. Bryce Callahan to play the slot. Franklin Myers, 77 overall. I'll be damned. Looks exactly the same as Washington. Well, all right. The defense is certainly improving, but now it's time for the offense to catch up. Let's make this a playoff team here in 2023. I will upgrade some of our packages here. It's got to be O-line training boost. We got to get this offense going. But I will simulate to the playoffs. I'm not worrying about upgrade players. I know people comment that sometimes. Auto progresses on. They will be auto upgraded. Do not worry about it. Simulating to the playoffs. Give me at least a 10-win team, please. And that's exactly what happens. A 10-win team made the wild card round of the playoffs against the Raiders. Look at the Browns. Look at the Bengals. This was a very, very strong division. The Ravens went 11-5. And we'll see the numbers as Joe Burrow seems like he was quite good. 4,000 plus yards, 35 touchdowns, even more than last year, and only 8 interceptions again. Very good from Joe Burrow. Rushing, didn't do anything too crazy, did add a touchdown, but Joe Mixon was great. And then receiving, Tyler Boyd. My word. Almost 100 catches, 1,300 plus yards, 15 touchdowns. Everett was solid. Auden Tate had 10 touchdowns. T. Higgins took a big step back in terms of production. But we should see some MVP votes for Burrow. Baker Mayfield's on the Giants. Burrow finishes at number 8 for MVP. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Joe Burrow at number 2. Best Quarterback, Joe Burrow at number 3. How does Derek Carr finish at 2nd for Best QB, but for Offensive Player of the Year, he was number 3? I'm not sure. We will upgrade players here. LaMelo Washington's up to an 85 overall. I might need to check him out real quick. He's got superstar dev or higher. Burrow is up to a 90, and he's not even close to regressing either. He should be able to get a lot higher. Let me see the CB. Superstar dev, 85 overall as a rookie. I mean, very clearly do not need William Jackson with LaMelo Washington. Jesse Bates up to a 93. He should probably be superstar development in my opinion. But we'll see if Burrow can beat the Raiders here in the wild card. And yes, the Bengals won. And now it's a division rival in the divisional. The Cleveland Browns. They are fantastic in sim. Can the Bengals be better? Survey says, no. 38-28, we lose. And we'll see what we can do in 2024. We might actually see an upgrade for Burrow here. I don't think so, but maybe. All right, we don't. But Tyler Boyd goes up to a 92 overall. Well, I'm going to take off ankle breaker and put on double me. I don't know what that would do for simulation, but I'm doing it anyway. Burrow is up to an 89 overall. course, morale's not factoring in now. Throw power's approaching the 90s, and look at his accuracy. All 90 or higher. So Burrow is definitely getting a whole lot better, but they need to improve this offensive line, and they made attempts to do so. David DeCastro lost superstar. They brought in Devin Asiasi. Corey Linsley, Laken Tomlinson. Those are nice additions to this offense. And then defensively, Rashawn Gary's up a dev trait. Mike Hilton is regressing. Overall, nothing super crazy to report. But we'll see what this team is capable of here in 2024. I will spend some Coach XP real quick. I feel like mainly we're going to do it for the offense. We want guys around Burrow to be as good as they possibly can be. So that's our focus. We're headed back to the playoffs, I hope, in 2024. Let's see what Joe Burrow can do. Unleash havoc. We did make the playoffs, but it showed in a really odd way. Because it looks like, we can't even see the matchup. It is against the Bills. Here's the playoff bracket, in case you cared. The AFC has some neat teams in it. The Chargers, the Jets. Not your usual suspects. But it wouldn't be shocking if the Chargers at this point were in the playoffs and the Jets with Trevor Lawrence in real life. Who knows? It's 2024, right? This is a few years out. And David DeCastro wants to win a Super Bowl. Well, guess what? I'm sure the younger players on the team do as well. I'm sure Burrow wants a Super Bowl. We're up to an 86 overall, and I'm sure Joey B is above a 90. He is 91 overall. 27 years old now. Throw power just not quite into the 90s yet, but accuracy overall is going up, especially deep and medium. Although I think short accuracy has stayed the same. And, ooh. Who is this? Barry Bishop, rookie out of Nebraska. They're putting some weapons out there. Even this guy. Reggie Howard brought him in. He's okay. And those are 4th and 5th and even 6th options. We'll see how some of those guys develop and change. Ooh, Marshall Faulk's on the team. 77 overall rookie running back. Okay. And even a backup quarterback. Doesn't exactly match his picture. Check out the defense, just for a quick reminder. But nothing too crazy's in there. And we'll see if this team can beat the Bills in the wild card. Get back to the divisional for back-to-back years. No, lost 24-20. And we will check out the season stats before moving on. The Ravens just went 15-1. Burrow is like, I'm just going to throw 14 picks this year. My yards are going to go way down. My touchdowns are going to go down. What is this year from Joey B? If he goes down to star dev, I'm going to cry. He had two rushing touchdowns, and of course, threw to Tyler Boyd quite a bit. Gerald Everett, what a year. 10 touchdowns, almost 900 yards on 80-plus catches. T. Higgins was okay. I mean, no one really did that well. I'm not even going to bother with awards because I'll tell you Joe Burrow will not be in there. The Ravens went 15-1. And I'll be honest, Burrow has to be better if this team's going to go far into the playoffs. Because that season, I know we made the playoffs. That season is not going to cut it. He's not playing his best football. Joey B's got to step up to the plate, hit it out of the park. We'll be good to go. 2025, we got an 85 overall team to start. That is pretty good. Bishop has worked his way into our 4th receiver spot. Joey B is up to a 92 overall, but is now 28. I don't think he's going to start regressing, but it is possible. Short accuracy and deep accuracy jumped up a bit. I think medium accuracy stayed the same. Nothing else really changed too much. I mean, throw on the run, play action, under pressure, I'm sure went up a little bit. David DeCastro is now going to play left guard, and the right side of the O-line is still really, really bad. Gerald Everett is gone. And then defensively, they brought in whoever this is, Mike Finley. Seems to be okay. Doesn't really cover too well. Is he a power rusher type? Oh, no, run stop. I was about to say that didn't match. Jesse Bates went up to superstar. Good for him. He is not face-canned into the game. And who is this? Mark Wall. Looks like a mark. Nice zone coverage. Man, strong safety. The defense is really not bad. But we're focusing on Joey B. We're focusing on the offense. And he's got to take another step up. Has to happen for long-term success of this team. As I will use some skill packages for upgrading the defense there. And we will go back to the playoffs. The team has made the playoffs 2 seasons in a row. It will be a disappointment to do anything less. So let's get back there. Let's work. We did make the playoffs in 2025 at 11-5. Still have not won the division. Very strong AFC North once again. And did Burrow play well? The touchdowns would tell you yes. He had a very good season. Less than 4,000 yards, sure, but he was knocking on the door. But I'm not a rapper. 39 touchdowns, great. Only 6 interceptions. Nice completion percentage. Yards per attempt, over 8. We like to see that. Rushing, scored 2 rushing touchdowns, averaged 4 per carry, sure. And then receiving was all over Tyler Boyd. But Devin Asiasi, 13 touchdowns, almost 900 yards. The tight end is a position that targeted a lot in this playbook, I can tell. Auden Tate was all right. T. Higgins was all right. Nothing crazy good. But it's really just Tyler Boyd and Devin Asiasi that really played quite well, along with Joey B. Check out yearly awards. Patrick Mahomes wins the MVP. Joe Burrow at number 5. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Joe Burrow at number 2. And then best quarterback, Burrow at number 1. Best quarterback in the AFC. He beats out Patrick Mahomes, who won Offensive Player of the Year and MVP. So Joe Burrow was a better quarterback than him, but Patrick Mahomes was the better player. You're going to have to explain that one to me, because I'm not getting it. I don't know how that would work. But I'm pretty much done with Coach XP at this point. We got everything. At this point, it's just seeing what Joey B can do. We'll check out the salaries, because he may have signed a contract extension. Yeah, he did. He signed a 6-year, $172 million contract extension that will pay a ton. 30+ million a year in cap hit until 2028. He signed through 2028. So clearly, and as they should, the Bengals put a strong emphasis on retaining Joey B, and we'll see if it's well warranted. And it may have been with a win over the Jets in the wild card. And once again, it is the Browns in the divisional with everything on the line. Bragging rights. Who cares? We just want to win. You want to hoist that Lombardi, and it's not going to happen. 38-17 is your final. We're headed to 2026. They can't get it done again. It is the Bengals, though. We knew what we were signing up for. They cannot get past the divisional. 2026, we might actually see Superstar X Factor this year. We don't. Come on, man. Come on. That's a shame. He's up to a 93. Throw power just won't cross that 90 threshold, unfortunately. But the accuracy's unreal. Gutsy Scrambler and Lofting Deadeye. Let me give him Inside Deadeye. Just be more accurate. That'd be great. The offensive line's still brutal. I hope this doesn't happen for Joe Burrow. I mean, this is the Andrew Luck career path. I'm looking at it. It's so sad to see. T. Higgins is up to an 85. T. Higgins is now 27. But 85 overall is pretty good. The offensive line is just so bad. Defensively, man, I mean, they really just said, hey, D-tackle, we don't care at all. Drafted one. It actually seems like he could be pretty good, but isn't really. Finley's getting better. I don't know. The defense is not great. But we'll see what this team can do in 2026. I need Joe Burrow to step up and win MVP. Get up to Superstar X Factor. I need it for the thumbnail. I don't really. I could, whatever. But it'd be cool. I need it for the video. Another playoff berth for this Bengals team. 10-6. So upgrade Jason Zimmerman, whoever that might be. And we still didn't win the division, as Joe Burrow went for very similar numbers to last year. Touchdowns were down. Interceptions were slightly up. Maybe they weren't all too similar, but about the same number of yards. Rushing, Joe Burrow, no rushing touchdowns this year, and targeted mainly, you're going to be shocked by this, Tyler Boyd. Auden Tate was good. Devin Asiasi was good, and T. Higgins put up his usual numbers that we've been seeing of late. As Lamar Jackson wins MVP, Burrow not to be found inside the top 10. AFC Offensive Player of the Year. Burrow is not in there. Best quarterback. Not in there. Oh, he's at number 3. Hold on. Did I just miss him for Offensive Player of the Year? Am I just missing him? No, I'm not. How did he... I'm perplexed by that once again. So weird. See if we can beat the Colts in the wild card. Yes, 24-17. Can you beat the Ravens? Still no. It's the divisional. The Bengals have a setting turned on where you cannot advance past the divisional. It's just not possible. 2027, which means Burrow is in the second to last year of his current contract. Still $172 million is quite a lot of money. Did he get upgraded? Couldn't really have. But he is up to a 95 overall. There's no reason for regression to start hitting yet, but I am curious of when it actually does start hitting quarterbacks. I'll give him pocket deadeye. He's 30 at this point, but is a 95 overall. Accuracy continues to improve. He's still lacking in that big cannon, which he's never going to have a cannon in real life, let's be honest. He's always going to be a guy who reads defenses about as well as any quarterback, right? And has the accuracy and the touch to get it in there, but is never going to be a guy that blows you away with a crazy arm. Just not his game. They finally drafted a right tackle, or signed one at least. Justin Middleton seems pretty good. Brought in a tight end that isn't Devin Asiasi, but maybe could even be better. Darby lost his star dev. Hate to see that. And then defensively, they have star dev all over the place on the D-line. Okay. Did not make the playoffs in 2027. Won 7 games. It was not enough. We had the best offense in the NFL. Did the defense let us down? Sure looks like it did. Burrow threw for 4,300 yards, 31 touchdowns, but 19 picks. Had a rushing touchdown, averaged 4.5 per carry. And of course, tides have turned. T. Higgins leads the team in yards. Tied with touchdowns. Look at the tight end, though. 900 yards, most catches, 10 touchdowns, led the team. Looks like it's all about T. Higgins now. Baker Mayfield wins MVP with the Giants. Jordan Love's with the Colts now. Wow. Man, that's a Polish last name if I've ever seen one. I think so. Not even going to say it. Not even going to say it. AFC Offense Player of the Year, Jordan Love. Joe Burrow at 10. Best quarterback, Burrow at 6. 2028, also known as the final year of Joe Burrow's massive contract. Now, he's 31, but he's a 95 overall. Has he hit regression? He has hit Superstar X Factor. Has not regressed. We're not giving him Truz. It sucks. I'm going to give him Omaha. Maybe that'll be good. Hot Route Master doesn't matter. I'm going to give him Lofting Deadeye. I'm going to give him... I don't know what would work in Sim. Does any of this even matter at all? Maybe. Red Zone Deadeye. If that increases touchdowns a lot, I'm going to be in. I'll give him Deadeye everything. Just increase accuracy like crazy. He is a 95 overall. We just can't get throw power. Is it capped at 89? It might be capped. It might be capped. But he is a 95 overall. Superstar X Factor. Tyler Boyd's gone. We're starting to see regression from longtime Bengals. Tate's down. T. Higgins is hitting that regression point. He just regressed a lot. I mean, Mixon's regressing. And then defensively, I mean, Washington's up to a 94. Britt has superstar dev. We have star dev all over the place. Brought in Tristan Hill. It's 2028. Technically, the final year that Joe Burrow is under contract, but that doesn't mean... It's not technically... It is the final year he's under contract. This could be the final year that he's in Cincinnati, although I doubt it. I think Bengals are going to retain him. Didn't make the playoffs. 7-9. This team's going downhill. And Burrow somehow sucked even more. He's 32. He's got incredible accuracy to the other team. 18 picks to go with 32 touchdowns, 3,700 yards. Rushing, Joe Mixon, pretty good. Joe Burrow, no rushing touchdowns. Receiving, Burrow went full Gay here, as he had went over 900 yards. Joel Gay. T. Higgins, 8 touchdowns. Auden Tate was okay. DeAndre Darby was okay. I really don't think it's worth it even looking at MVP or anything like that, because don't really expect to see Joe Burrow after that year. He hasn't been here so far. Best QB, he might get Finishes number 8. I feel like just everything is so playbook dependent because Burrow's not doing anything crazy. Not doing anything crazy. 2029. Is Burrow still in Cincinnati? Sure is. Signed a 4-year extension worth $142 million, which gets up to almost $38 million in 2031, which is the last year of this current deal. Did he regress at all? No. Good. Didn't regress at 32 years old. I'm going to go from Omaha to, let's give him Gambler. Hopefully he throws fewer picks. Stop throwing so many picks. I don't like it. Well, the offense is not being prioritized here in Cincinnati. That much is certainly noticeable. Defensively, ooh, Finley's up. Logan Wilson's gone. It's not a great team. It isn't. But maybe it'll be a playoff team. See you at the end of 2029. Did not make the playoffs. Finished 7-9. Seen that, what, 3 years in a row? Burrow has only thrown for 26 touchdowns. Only 8 picks. Over 4,000 yards, which is nice. Rushing. Burrow had 5 rushing touchdowns? Okay. Well, that's interesting. T. Higgins had the most catches and yards and touchdowns. Tate was okay. We need an actual, like, really good receiver, though. As Daniel Jones, what in the world, wins MVP with the Lions. Need to see his numbers. I can't let that slide. I have to. Bengals, we get Burrow at number 7 for MVP. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Mahomes. Burrow at 5. Best quarterback, Joe Burrow at number 9. How does that work? I need to see what Daniel Jones did with the Lions. Because how did he win MVP? 4,600 yards, 36 touchdowns, 7 picks. At 78 overall. I need to see what system the Lions are running. This cannot be Lions playbook. It is. No way. No way. 2030, we're an 80 overall. Going downhill. Got up to an 85. And Joe Burrow has reached regression point. For accuracy deep going down, awareness going down, throwing or pressure going down. Things you hate to see. Accuracy still good. He's still very good. Offensive line, at least they brought in the decent center. Or he's up to a 73, which is okay. I say that's decent. We have low standards at this point. T. Higgins is up to star dev. Well, guess what? You're 31. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Mixon's gone. Defense looks okay. Defense looks okay. That cornerback's up to a 97. But I worry it won't be enough. Will we make the playoffs here in 2030, or will we go 7-9 for the 5th straight year? Did not make the playoffs. Went, not 7-9, 8-8, which isn't really an improvement. And Joe Burrow, great year, 4,100 yards, almost 4,200 yards, 36 touchdowns, only 6 picks. Rushing, not Deshaun Elliott, Devontae Elliott was okay. And Burrow had 2 rushing touchdowns of his own. Receiving, Antoine Thomas really ate in the slot. Good year from him. DeAndre Darby. Dude, bring in a big receiver. Burrow at number 4 for MVP. Bring in an actual good receiver. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Burrow at number 2. It's tough to beat out Patrick Mahomes. And then best quarterback is Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow at number 2. He's still very, very good. But he will regress again here as we head into 2031. The final year of his contract, this current contract in Cincinnati. Will he stay? Will he go? Willie Gay, linebacker for the Chiefs out of Mississippi State. But no, will he actually stay in Cincinnati? The answer is probably yes. Almost certainly. 2031, last year of Burrow's contract. He is down to a 94 at 34 years old. But he's coming off his career best season. Maybe he'll be like Tom Brady and get better with age. Or maybe he won't. Offensive line still sucks. Defensively, Jesse Bates is gone. Not a great unit. But we'll see what Burrow does in his final year under contract, as he'll probably end up signing 2 or 3 year contracts until he retires. Back in the playoffs in 2031. But it's the 11-5 Ravens in the wild card. What did Burrow do? Looks like a pretty good year. Stop throwing double-digit picks. Stop doing that. Decent year, but too many interceptions and not enough touchdowns to get away with 14 picks. You throw 40 touchdowns? All right, 40 interceptions or 14 interceptions is fine with 40 touchdowns. Those numbers are not okay. Burrow with a rushing touchdown and really was big on Gay again. But T. Higgins over 1,000 yards on only 57 catches, 11 touchdowns, averaging 17.6 yards per reception. What in the world? Yearly awards. Lamar Jackson wins MVP. Mayfield with the Giants. Is Giants playbook good? Seems like it kind of could be. Because we've seen stuff like this before. Burrow at 9 for Offensive Player of the Year. And at number 4 for Best Quarterback. Can we beat the Baltimore Ravens and advance to the divisional? We're good for one playoff win, and that's probably it. Not even. Lost to the Ravens in 2031, and now the question comes into play. Will Joe Burrow be a Cincinnati Bengal going forward? We're going to find out after this. Is Burrow still here? Yes. He is down to a 91 overall at 35 years old. What's his ratings looking like? Throw power's taking a hit. Accuracy is still quite good overall. It's not amazing anymore, but it's still quite good. What did he lose? Just a little bit. Throw accuracy short and mid were the main ones that took a hit. Deep -2. But, I mean, he's still quite good. And the team, let's be honest, they've really not done a great job to put weapons around him. They've really been awful with that. LaMelo Washington is 30, by the way, and he just has been, you'd have to assume, amazing his entire career. I just want to take a quick look at him. I mean, a little bit of a ball hawk. Nothing crazy because it is Madden Sim. You're just not going to see crazy interception numbers from cornerbacks usually. Just not going to be something that happens. But what is the new contract that Joe Burrow signed? He's no longer the highest overall player on the team for the first time. And it is a 2-year deal worth $72.5 million. Well, this is the final year. It's kind of like a 1-year deal almost. He signed in 2032 for $35 million. So he is under contract for 1 year here. Will it be worth it? Will they get their Super Bowl? Ever elusive. And in simulation for every rebuild, I like how the Bengals are in the Super Bowl every year. We use the Bengals with their playbooks, letting the CPU handle everything the way that they would in a rebuild. We barely make the playoffs, if we even do. Did not make the playoffs. 7-9. We're used to it. Burrow, 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. Good year. Also 2 rushing touchdowns to go with that. Receiving, no one was over 1,000 yards, but the ball distribution was good. 3 receivers with above 800. 4 receivers with 5 touchdowns or more. And then yearly awards, Mahomes wins it. Baker Mayfield back there. Burrow at number 7. AFC Offense Player of the Year. Burrow at number 3. And then best quarterback, Joe Burrow at number 3 as well. But we just can't seem to get past the hump, as looks like under Joe Burrow, the Bengals are really never going to be that much of a contender. Unfortunate. Well, at least it is Madden. You know, they definitely couldn't in real life, but that remains to be seen. 2033. I think Burrow is still going to be here. Let's check out salaries, and he is. He is down to an 89 overall. It's another 1-year deal. This one is worth $35 million. He is 36, and his accuracy is dropping off quite a bit. The arm strength is getting a bit worse, but he still is quite good. They just need better players around Joe Burrow in order to be effective, I think. And they just still aren't giving him any receiving threats at all. The offensive line has stayed terrible. And then defensively, they've got some good players out there for sure. They really can't seem to retain anybody. Like, they don't re-sign anyone good ever. The only player they seem content with re-signing is LaMelo Washington, and good. He is very, very, very solid, and he is 31. But outside of that, I mean, players are just coming and going, but that is the NFL for you. 2033, I think Burrow is going to be a Bengal for his entire career in this career simulation, if I had to guess. Ooh, 12-4 in 2033. Finally, for the first time, won the division. And Joe Burrow was 17th in passing yards. Did throw 34 touchdowns, only 7 picks. It's not a bad season at all. It's a very good season. Just nothing crazy. 3 rushing touchdowns, had the same exact number of yards as the third string running back. And then receiving, Dwayne Hopkins, not to be confused with DeAndre. Seems to be a decent player, actually. Only 25 years old, but is in his third year at 25. I mean, he's old. Tyrese Belzer got some touches. And tight end is, he's a tight end. He's the tight end. Interesting. I know he looked pretty big. Yeah, this offense is all about tight end. Yearly award, Show Me Burrow in the conversation. Man, stands out there, killing it. I think it's probably pronounced Shikowski, something like that. Joe Burrow at 5. I think that is Polish, but I'm not sure. Burrow at number 3 for Offensive Player of the Year, and then Best Quarterback at number 2. He's still putting up pretty good numbers. He's got us back in the playoffs. We made the playoffs at 12-4 and have to play in the damn wild card. You hate to see that. You hate to see that. Can we beat the Chiefs? 20-9. Another season of disappointment. Welcome to Cincinnati. Welcome to Ohio football. Unless it's Ohio State, but even then, when's your last national championship? This isn't a shot at Ohio State. It's like an actual comment. Yeah, Ohio State's very, very good every year. But Ohio State national championship 2014 claimed national title. You know, I actually forgot they won the first college football playoff. I was remembering their last one back to the early 2000s, which was 2002. And then before then, 1970. I just kind of forgot about that. I was thinking more like, I guess like BCS era, right? But, I mean, was that even 2002? BCS era was, I think it was, yeah, 1998. All right, 2034. Burrow's got to be still here. He's not. Jordan Love has replaced him. Oh, man. So that begs the question, where is Joe Burrow? Is he still an X Factor? Well, I mean, I'm not going to look through all these guys, just random names. Chase Young's on the Colts. I wanted to see transactions. It's very tough to get to somehow. I think Joe Burrow is still going to be active here, but the question becomes, what team did he go to? Because it's no longer the Bengals. Joe Burrow, it's Patrick Mahomes down to an 88. There he is. He's an 86 overall, 37 years old. What team is Joe Burrow on? So that's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to close my eyes. 1, 2, 3. Click on him. It's loading. It's pulled up. And he is on the Arizona Cardinals. That is career over. In simulation, the Cardinals are so bad. They are so bad. Joe Burrow in Arizona. He's got a noodle now. 83 arm strength. He's on that Carson Palmer type beat. Still not really that bad. Like, his accuracy is still really good. He's just 37 years old. The Cardinals, though, I'm telling you, they're so bad in sim. It's just, it's over for him. It's tough. But I don't think he's going to put up any numbers. And I don't think he's going to be effective at all. But Joe Burrow has found himself in Arizona. And we'll see what he does on that team. Let's check him out. Let's see what they got going for themselves in 2034. So they've got actually a pretty good team. Like some really high 90s. But on the defense side of the ball, their running back is a 75 overall, who's 30. Receivers. They got some young guys who could be okay. Jerry Rice over here. Jermichael Rice is only 22. And then Trevor Scott, 24. Like, there are some young guys, but there's no one who's, like, particularly good. We'll see what this Cardinals team can do. They're going to a different conference, or Joe Burrow is, in the NFC now. Maybe he'll do what he couldn't do in the AFC and actually win some playoff games. So the Bengals didn't make the playoffs, but that's not what matters. Did the Cardinals? They did not. Cardinals did not make the playoffs. Joe Burrow didn't know how good he had it, losing in Cincinnati. Jordan Love was sick. But the Cardinals, Burrow threw for fewer touchdowns. Interceptions weren't crazy high, but it's still a little bit too high. Over 4,000 yards passing. Had a few rushing touchdowns, and then receiving. Trevor Scott got the bulk of the touches, and as he probably should. He looks to be pretty solid, just needs to improve deep route running. Seems like too much of a slot archetype. Is Joe Burrow in here for MVP? He's not. NFC Offensive Player of the Year now, Bruce Smart. Joe Burrow at number 8. Best quarterback. We just looked at Offensive Player of the Year. Joe Burrow at number 7. Seemed to be his sweet spot, but they didn't make the playoffs. And let's see that contract. How long is Joe Burrow under contract for in Arizona? And this is not relevant to you. I have to piss worse than you can imagine. It's a 1-year deal. So he signed in 2035. We'll see how that goes. And man, I cannot describe to you how bad I have to go to the bathroom. So I will be back. You didn't need to know. I just could have made a cut. But I wanted to tell you. For what reason? I got to talk to a psychiatrist, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so now the former Steelers quarterback, Shikowski, we're going to call him, has replaced Joe Burrow in Arizona. Where in the world is Joe Burrow now? It's like playing a game of where's Waldo? Like, where is Joey B? And he is, as Patrick Mahomes seems to be a lifer on the Chiefs, Joe Burrow is back to Louisiana. At 38 years old, he is going back to the place that made him, Louisiana. And I know he's an Ohio boy. I know he started at Ohio State in Ohio, and of course went to the Bengals, Cincinnati, Ohio. But he blossomed into the player that we all know at LSU as a graduate transfer. And now to see Joe Burrow at the age of 38 years old head down to New Orleans to become a member of the Saints, that is super cool. And of course, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where LSU plays, isn't particularly close. It's the same state. Every LSU fan is a Saints fan. Let's not kid ourselves. And let's check out the Saints team and see what Joe Burrow has to work with. And there is actually a great receiver. He is 23 years old. Already an 86 overall. Superstar development. Doesn't really know much about route running. But Joe Burrow actually has some weapons. Parker Johnson, only 24 years old, 80 overall. Ben Hayward is an 82. He's okay. At tight end, he's all right. But Joe Burrow has become a member of the Saints. It is a 1-year deal in 2035. We'll see what he can do with it. The Bengals made the playoffs at 7-9. Not what we care about. Show me the Saints in the NFC. No, they're not there. Joe Burrow is just not destined to win it all, unfortunately. Just wasn't what he was going to do. New quarterback for the Bengals as well, but for the Saints, Joey B. 28 touchdowns, 10 picks, 3,800 yards, rushing. Had a touchdown in there. And Juan Herald actually got... Oh, he was the number 1 guy. 89 overall now. I mean, Burrow has a legitimate weapon. Has probably a legitimate 2. Parker Johnson should go up to probably like near an 85 overall in the next year. But will Joe Burrow even stay with the Saints? As Jordan Love went to Chicago, west to Cincinnati, and won himself an MVP with the Bears. Of course, Chicago is a little like northwest of Cincinnati, if I recall. But I do not see Joe Burrow anywhere in the MVP race. NFC Offensive Player of the Year, Jordan Love. No Saints. Best quarterback. No. Hold on. He gets in there at number 10 for best QB. Still managing to get in there. But another year for Joe Burrow of not making the playoffs. And we'll see if he decides to retire or if he goes to yet another team, maybe even stays with the Saints. We'll have to see what happens. All right, where's Joe Burrow now? Is he still in the league? Oh, no, he's not. Joe Burrow is not on a team. I think that means he probably retired. I don't see Joey B anywhere in here. He'd be up to like 40 years old at this point. We'll check out transactions and see. I guess it would be NFC, right? Retired. Nobody retired. I wish it would show you the year previous. We'll check out free agents. Maybe he's in there, but I doubt it. I think he probably retired. Where is Joe Burrow? He's not in here. At the end of Joe Burrow's career, he retires as a New Orleans Saint. Very cool. Now, he didn't have any type of Hall of Fame, amazing, unbelievable career. And I wish we could actually just see him. Like, it's so frustrating that we can't see. As Patrick Mahomes is still playing, he's 40. Then we got little Gene Dangus action. But Burrow is nowhere to be found. Yeah, he retired. Like, why can't I not look at, like, retired players? I know it'd be a lot to list. But it's not like he's going to show up in NFL records, or probably not. Yeah, he's not in there for passing yards all time. He's not going to be in there for passing. Oh, he is in there for passing touchdowns. 491. Finishes at number 8 all time for passing touchdowns. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Passing yards, he is not in there, though. But that is the end of Joe Burrow's career. Retired as a Saint, going back to Louisiana. Finishes top 10 all time in passing touchdowns. The Joe Burrow career sim has come to an end, as has this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. I appreciate you watching. I hope you were entertained. And let me know down in the comment section below, who should I do next? I know I've really only done quarterback so far, but that could change. Could go to a running back. Could go to a receiver, tight end, defensive end, linebacker. I think some of these would be pretty boring for, like, cornerback. Oh, we got 2 picks this year. Wow. But, like, you know, it is what it is. Let me know down in the comment section below. It doesn't even have to be just rookies. Maybe I'll do Patrick Mahomes in the next video. Let me know down in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.
I hit it at the park, Ben Bones. See me high step to the end zone. My life like a game, Nintendo. Playing with the best, let them know. Get off the track, the train's coming through. Yeah. Promise you get in my way, then you best believe I'ma just run over you. Yeah, yeah. Papa turn taking it back to the house. Defensive joke, I'm laughing so loud. Speed burst good.